subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having pure fun wherever you are. And we're here to discuss Arsenal versus Borussia Dortmund, right? Arsenal versus Borussia Dortmund in there for you. And this game of football is going to be played at the Emirates today, right? It's going to be played at the Emirates today. And obviously, the turn of Arsenal has gotten some changes, right? Let me show you something special in here, because Emirates is where the game of football is going to be played at. And I tell you, a lot of things will be happening at the Emirates today, right? And them being lots of things happening at the Emirates, we want to obviously come in here and really let you know that it is Emirates time, right? It's the Emirates time, and it's really going to be shining today. Now, let me show you some of the changes that are going to be made at the Emirates, right? Some changes are going to be made at the Emirates. Some changes. Where can I really try to put out this? All right. Let me see whether I can obviously put out it here well. So, some changes at the Emirates. Now, it appears the lighting in the Arsenal tunnel has been changed ahead of the 2026-2027 season. Now, 2025, this is how the lighting of the Arsenal tunnel was. Now, this is how it looks. We'll need the stadium. Manager to obviously tell us why they really went that way. But all in all, it's a hint that you needed to know. If at all you see it today when it has changed, don't be surprised. If at all you didn't know how the tunnel was looking last time, this is how it is looking. Last time it was this 2026. It is a little bit of dark, you know, and we don't know why Arsenal has gone in for that. But all in all, it's Arsenal getting talkability in here for you. And it's getting Arsenal back at the Emirates. You understand? Arsenal is going to be back at the Emirates. And I'm going to be telling you that it's a big one. Emirates is going to be buzzing. That is it. Emirates is going to be buzzing today. But you don't expect the following players to take part. 1, Rice. 2, Bukayo Saka. 3, Mikel Merino. 4, Noni Madueke. 5, Ebelechi Eze. 6, Zubimendi. Raya. Those 7 players are out, you know. They're out, and there is no way you're obviously going to find them doing anything like a job today. So just get ready for what is going to be ready for you. Bruno Guimaraes is a player in question. That is it. A player in question today is Bruno Guimaraes. And just get to understand that he might be part of the squad, or he might not be. But what I can guarantee you is that get ready to see him unveiled at the Emirates. That is it. Get ready to see Bruno G unveiling at the Emirates today. That is it. So, Arsenal is going to be taking on Borussia Dortmund. For Borussia Dortmund, they do have some players that they're obviously going to be missing out on. Scholterback, that defender from Germany. Don't expect him to be here. Emery Chan is out, and Chukwuemeka is also out. But for Arsenal, their captain, Martin Odegaard, is back. Martin Odegaard is back and is expected to play part into this beautiful game of football that is going to be played at the Emirates today. And it's really very sounding that it's really going to be an enticing game of football from both ends of the pitch, because these sides play amazing football if at all they decide to. For Borussia Dortmund, we know they won't park the bus. They'll come up, attack you, and they'll play an open game. I don't know how Arsenal is obviously going to behave today, because their distinctive style of play hasn't been really known to us this season. And I told you that the game of Como is really going to be very important, because at least Mikel Arteta will be having his midfield, and that midfield will help us know what Arsenal will put out onto the field of play. But this time around, I don't see Arsenal coming through to really see exactly what they're obviously going to emulate. Unless otherwise, Bruno Guimaraes, Miles Lewis-Skelly and Martin Odegaard start in the midfield. If you ever see those three in there, just get to understand that something is cooking and Arteta wants to demonstrate something into this particular encounter. Or he wants to see this midfield start when they are playing against Como to obviously go ahead and demonstrate exactly what he really wants to see his team look like. So that is Arsenal for you. And after that, I'm obviously going to be taking you to what we call how I expect the team of Arsenal to line up today. Now, the game is going to be played at the Emirates, a stadium that capacitates 60,704 people, though there are plans to obviously widen the stadium, you understand? Then, the system is 4-3-3, that is it. In goal, Kepa Arrizabalaga, maybe Melie, you don't know. One of those will obviously come in through to do the needful in there for the club of Arsenal. The right back is gonna be Ben White, because we haven't gone ahead obviously see Julian Timber anywhere. Maybe a shock of him showing up today. Obviously, we'll be waiting to see whether he comes in through. Left back, I see Riccardo Carafiori. He's the best left back at Arsenal. Go ahead and argue with your keyboard. He is the best left back at the club of Arsenal in there for you. And in this elbow system that Mikel Arteta plays, he's the best player because that side, like, he lets the touchline for Zolis. And Zolis is going to be using that very well. And the other player that really puts in a very huge shift is Bukayo Saka and Ben White or Julian Timber, who really allowed onto that right side to overload that side in attack. And this guy will just invert into the midfield to see to it that he turns into a midfielder and compacts the midfield to let the opponent not hit Arsenal on the break or really pass through their midfield. So that is what we call the left back. Now we go to the left-sided centre-back. Big Gabi is going to be played as a left-sided centre-back. And the right-sided centre-back is going to be the man himself who goes by the names of Mosquera. You understand? So that is the back five for the club of Arsenal. That's how I expect Arsenal to look today in their starting 11. Now, we go to the mid-three. Obviously, Miles Lewis-Skelly will sit there as a CDM for the club of Arsenal, as he has always gone ahead to do in all the games they've played against Girona and against Rio Betis. Though the game against Rio Betis, oh my God, he was really looking horrible. And I went ahead to obviously read a comment from some Arsenal fans saying that you cannot judge a player on one game. Let me tell you, football doesn't give you very many chances, especially if at all you are fighting to get to the first team. In these games, if you are Miles Lewis-Skelly, you don't want to look any bad. You want to send a message to the manager that I'm the ideal CDM or ideal box-to-box midfielder you should start. You understand? Because when Declan Rice arrives, Mikel Merino arrives, Bruno Guimaraes arrives, and Zubimendi arrives, you are fifth fiddle in any of the choices of the midfield if at all Mikel Arteta is set to make one. You understand? So if you're fifth fiddle, you need to use this side to see to it that you really send a message out there to the manager that it is really one of those moments that you need to put out the best of your performances, to send it to the manager that I'm the right man to obviously get into the starting 11 of Arsenal. So that's why I was really putting him on pressure and obviously trying to criticize him, because even when a team is playing badly or a team is looking bad, you can stand out. You can stand out and the manager will be like, he is ready to do the needful. The time, kickoff is 4 p.m. I think 1 hour and 38 minutes from now. That's when the game of football is going to be starting, and we'll be coming here with the match day live when the lineups are really out. You understand? So let's go to another midfielder in the mid-three. It's really going to be Martin Odegaard. I do believe that Martin Odegaard is obviously going to be starting today. I saw him training the club of Arsenal, and by the way, he returned. I think he returned like 7 days back, but the manager never went ahead to obviously hurry him to play, and he's like, you're obviously going to be into the squad today. So I expect Martin Odegaard to start. Then we go with Kai Havertz in there for you. Now, to see that mid-three, that means Bruno Guimaraes will be on the bench. But if Arteta decides to make a decision to start Bruno Guimaraes, obviously I do believe Kai Havertz will be played off the bench, because I think if the decision to play Bruno Guimaraes is made, it will be a clear message that he's trying to come up with a midfield that will play against Como and against a team known as Man City at the what is it called? At the Community Shield, because I've gone here to see Man City. They're having Reinders in midfield with Kovacic, and Phil Foden playing ahead of them as they play against Atletico Madrid. So that means the manager will try to come up with his own formula to see how things will pan out for this mighty club of Arsenal in there for you. So let's see what he'll work out for in there. Now, we wait to see whether Bruno Guimaraes will be in the squad. Now, front three, obviously right forward, it's going to be Max Dortmund. Obviously, young lad, but he really has a lot he's giving to the club of Arsenal. Again, I repeat the same words I've always gone ahead to say in the match previews for this lad, that he needs to come up and show the world that he is that guy, that the world has a lot of hope in. As Saka and Noni Madueke are trying to come back this weekend, then this man has to come up and obviously show them exactly what he's made of. And to my understanding, he has a lot to give. That is it. Then, left forward, there should be a man known as Christos Zolis. Christos Zolis is going to be the lad to obviously play as a left forward, and leading the line is going to be Victor Gyökeres for the club of Arsenal. So, to me, that is my probable starting 11 for the side of Arsenal, and I do believe that Arteta will tweak a little bit, like one or two, but I think it's going to be the standard in there for you. But Bruno Guimaraes' preseason debut in question for today, I tell you, and I cannot come out and tell you that he will start. But I know he has been training with Arsenal for the previous 3 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He has been training with the club of Arsenal. You understand? So, if he has been training with the club of Arsenal for 3 days, there is no reason as to why he's not put into the starting 11 of Arsenal. I don't find that reason. I don't find it anywhere. So, the guy has to be into the starting 11 for the club of Arsenal. And after this video, I'll come up and obviously let you know whether he has gone ahead to start or not in when that time really comes. When the lineups are out, I'll tell you whether he's in the squad or he's not into the match day squad. When we go to Borussia Dortmund, system 4-2-3-1, Drewes in goal, Rokani, Anton, Rita, and Svensson back four, Bellingham and Mencha in the double pivot, Beira, central attacking midfielder, Silva, right attacking midfielder, Caretas, left attacking midfielder, with Guirassy leading the line for the side of Borussia Dortmund. Now, Guirassy will give the Arsenal defense a very huge test, because Guirassy is one of the deadliest players that I've gone ahead to see play into that center forward role. And if you've been following him up from where he came in through, Guirassy was even linked to Arsenal, you understand? And he was linked to Arsenal, Man United, and very many other teams. To bring you a little bit of the stats of him last season in the Bundesliga, he played 33 games and scored 17 goals plus 1 assist. UEFA Champions League, he played 10 games, 4 goals and 3 assists. That is Guirassy for you, taking his tally to 21 goals and 4 assists in 43 games. And DFB Pokal Cup, 3 matches, 1 goal, meaning that he played a total of 46 games last season, and he scored 22 goals plus 4 assists. Obviously, goal involvement of 26, to me, it's not bad for a player who is 30 years of age. He'll obviously put the defense of Gabriel Magalhaes and Mosquera onto a big test tonight. Now, the other big test coming in through at the club of Arsenal is going to be Jude Bellingham and Mencha playing the double pivot. They'll put the Arsenal midfield to another huge test today, because Bellingham, Jude, This one is Jude Bellingham, right? Let me see. Bellingham, who? Bellingham. We do have Jude Bellingham, and he's a brother to no, this one is what's his brother? Bellingham Dortmund is called. This is Joby Bellingham, right? Joby. The other one is Jude. This is Joby, right? So Joby Bellingham will obviously be playing that midfield with Mencha to obviously give that Arsenal midfield a very huge test onto how they should be looking today. So I'm just waiting to see how this game will flow, because a lot of tests will be called in for, a lot of questions will be asked that Arsenal midfield and defense, because Borussia Dortmund is a free football attacking team. Then Ivan says, welcome back, thank you. Is the game live on DSTV? I cannot tell. Moki254, good afternoon, Aradi, hope you're good. Yeah, I'm good. How is Kenya? And I do have Damian Sanchez. So at what time will the kickoff be? Obviously, it's going to be at 16 hours. You can convert wherever you are, 16 hours. Inziku Cosmas, good afternoon, Aradi. I'm seeing 2-1 win for the club of Arsenal, but for me, I don't start Kappa. I'll put him down. Greeting to all. You'll put him down and bring in Melia. Yeah, Melia is a very good goalkeeper, and I do believe that Melia has a very big chance to see to it that he takes on. Awire Michael, thank you. He's called Joby Bellingham. Obviously, Joby Bellingham will obviously be the man doing the needful at the side of Arsenal. Sorry, at the side of Borussia Dortmund, with Mencha in that midfield, or double pivot of the team. Moses says, welcome back, Aradi. Welcome. Hope you guys. But I was here yesterday and I really streamed live. I don't know if people are telling me welcome back. Why are they welcoming me back? But the big game is going to be on at 16 hours. Arsenal is going to be taking on a team known as Borussia Dortmund in what we call the game of the Emirates Cup, the first game that is going to be played at the Emirates. On Wednesday, it is going to be Como coming in through. Cesc Fabregas coming back as a manager at the Emirates Stadium to see to it that they really take on one another. I'll tell you, 19 days left to know who these teams obviously going to be facing in what we call the Champions League, right? 19 days from now, we'll know who will be facing who in the Champions League. Now, your star boy, Bukayo Saka, has a new look. Your boy, Bukayo Saka, has a new look. And let's see. All right. That is Bukayo Saka's. By the way, for the time I've seen Bukayo Saka, I've never gone ahead to see him going in for dreads. But look at what I was going to make his head. Star boy, new look. That is his new look. Will it obviously help him get unlocked? You know, because Saka, for the previous 3 seasons, has found himself not doing the needful. I tell you, Saka has not been doing the needful as expected, especially in delivery. Season after season, he has been shrinking. Saka, the previous 3 seasons, Saka has been shrinking as far as goals and assists are really concerned. Now, 2022, 2024, Bukayo Saka played 35 games, 16 goals and 9 assists. I think that was his last best season. 2024, 2025, Bukayo Saka played 25 games, 6 goals and 10 assists. Now, 2025, 2026, Bukayo Saka played 31 games, 7 goals and 6 assists. That is Saka for you. Now, this season is coming in through to obviously put Bukayo Saka to that huge test. He needs to come up and obviously show us what exactly is all about. Is this hairstyle a blessing to Bukayo Saka to come up and obviously take back to his levels? Because their levels we've known Bukayo Saka at. You all know that. He's a very good player, but he needs to obviously up his sockings in this particular encounter. So, talk about Here it is. It's the next video I'm uploading on the channel. Bwire Michael, can Bruno Guimaraes be on the bench? He can be on the bench. He can also start. Inziku RD, you try for me your top 5 Premier League this season. That video is gonna come. That video is gonna come. I'm gonna do my favorites to win the league, and it will come up with the top 6. You understand? I'll tell you my favorites, my second favorites, my third, fourth, and fifth, and I'm gonna be predicting as I did last season. So after the what is it called? After the Community Shield, I'll come up here and do the needful. So where can I watch the game? That is Victor. Go to the Arsenal website. I think how many pounds do you pay? Then you can watch. How many Arsenal players on the squad today? Obviously, they're going to be like 30 because the manager can do the number of changes he really wants. Not so. So, guys, thank you very much for watching. My prediction is 3-2 win for the club of Arsenal today. Bye-bye. See you later.